Welcome to the Willpower Podcast. It's episode number 100. So
Holy shit.
that's kind of cool.
That is super cool.
Glad to have you on for it. I know you were like one of the, maybe number like 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah, man.
I forget which one, but you were one of the one of the absolute first episodes on here.
Yeah. Dude, 100. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's freaking
thanks, dude.
awesome. Honestly, that's really, really cool that you've been that consistent with it. And I mean,
every week. So it's been about almost 2 years because it's been every single week.
yeah.
And you are actually the first repeat guest. I just started reaching out to people, but because for the first like 60 or so, I had a new guest every time. And then I started doing some solo episodes, still having some guests. And now I'm like kind of trying to pull back from the good episodes, the people I enjoyed having. So you're the first of them.
Happy to be here. Yeah.
So, okay. 2 years ago, we talked. How would you summarize the past 2 years of your life?
God. Wait, we talked on this podcast 2 years ago.
Just
that was
about
2 years ago. Wow.
It was June.
I didn't realize
so.
That. Yeah.
Almost 2 years. Yeah.
Holy moly. Wow. Okay. Yeah. How would I summarize the last 2 years of my life? Yeah. I made a big career shift during that time. And 2 years ago, I didn't really know what I didn't really have a plan for my career. And I was just kind of working in a role that wasn't fulfilling. And I made a career shift. So the last 2 years, I've been working a lot in like a new field to me that it's been challenging. And yeah, man, I think I've been very blessed. Like I had a very blessed childhood and, was always very supported by my parents, people around me. And I think the past few years have been me having to kind of learn how to really provide for myself and find stability too. Finding work and just managing my finances. That's been feeling a lot more real for me. So it's been tiring and stressful and also good. Yeah. Just been learning to manage my life, I think, as a young man.
Yeah, it's like you got thrown out into the wilderness. You had to like figure it out.
Yeah. Gently, but yes. Been having to figure things out.
Yeah, it's kind of that. I mean, I relate to that a lot with my past like 8 months of life ever since quitting my job and being like, hey, I'm going to do this thing full time because, yeah, I mean, having a job is kind of like having, like, at least for me, it felt very similar to like mommy and daddy are taking care of you. It was like, this job is going to be my like, every 2 weeks I get paid by them and I don't really have to worry. And I know that it's coming and I don't like, if I don't work for a long enough time, maybe I'll get fired, but like, it's not really connected. Not in like a life or death where it's like, oh, you need to work now or you're not going to get this money. So
Totally.
Leaving that for me, definitely, I felt that where it's like, oh shit, this is real life. Like I got to figure this out. And if I don't, then I'm going to pay the consequences.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of being thrust into the world. I 100% get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about your new career, where you're headed.
Yeah. So I'm going to school right now, gently easing my way into a certification program to get my license to become a counselor. And yeah, like a couple of years ago when I left the last job I was working, I felt very unfulfilled. I didn't see any future in that career for me. I didn't feel like it was like aligned at all with my interests, my strengths, and even like the people I was working with were, I was like, I don't really want to spend that much time with, I didn't really relate a lot. And so I wanted to get into mental health in some capacity. Right now that looks like, I want to become a counselor. And I've also think maybe I'd want to become a therapist. It's all just a lot of schooling that would take, you know. But right now, the career shift looked like I went and worked at a psychiatric hospital for a little while, you know, to get experience and, you know, figure out if it was something I wanted to do. And now I'm working at a facility that's pretty similar. I left that other place and I'm working at a facility that's uh, yeah, it's pretty similar to a psychiatric hospital. It's a residential facility for people to get resources. People who are struggling, who need a help getting on their feet, getting, you know, their ID, helping find jobs, housing, things like that. And yeah, I enjoy it. At the moment, I feel like it's something I want to stick with and continue with. But yeah, yeah, that's I think that
So
answered your
what?
question.
Yeah, tell me what draws you to mental health, the mental health field, because I mean, there's a lot of different
Yeah, man.
ways to go about it, and it sounds like you're in the emergency room equivalent of the mental health field, where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
things are rough and they need a
yeah,
lot of help.
yeah,
But there's obviously also the like the other end, which is like, oh, I'm a 30-year-old guy and I don't know what I'm doing in life and I'm working a job and
yeah,
I'm bored and I need therapy.
yeah.
So yeah, what draws you to it in the first place, and like what are you looking to do in it long term?
Yeah, you know, I think that the other one, that's actually the one that drew me to it. You know, like I want to like I want to work with guys who have dating problems and, you know, and who struggle finding meaning in life and, you know, what career am I fit for? And oh
Uh-huh.
man, you know, that's the stuff that honestly like I feel really drawn to that. And I think part of me was just like, how the hell do I do that and make any sort of living, you know?
Right, right.
So, and I think that there is a way to do that. I haven't really figured that out for myself, but I would like to work towards that more and more towards that. But the whole like the psychiatric stuff is like, you know, I found it interesting and it's really overwhelming. It's not exactly what I want to do. And it was just I was able to find work, you know, and so that was really like this is close to what I want to do. I'm getting into the realm of what I want to do. So I'll do that. And
Right, right.
ultimately it's not really where I want to be. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that answered your question or not.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think in general, like we're both friends with Christopher, who was on this show a while
Yeah.
back. Because he's kind of in that same realm of like I get the vibe from him that that's like his target demo as well, is like dudes who are looking for a little bit more meaning and like maybe have some mommy daddy issues from the past that they want to understand more.
Yes.
And I forget where I was going with this now. Oh yeah. And we I mean, again, I'm repeating cliches, but like men typically aren't going to be like super amped about therapy in
Mhm.
general. For the
Mhm.
most part, it's changing. There's a lot more guys that are opening up to it, but there's still a certain way that therapy is seen, and a lot of guys aren't looking for it. So there's this idea that like going to therapy means that something must be like really wrong. It's like, oh, you must be like super depressed or like have really bad anxiety problems or you're bipolar or something. And so, yeah, it's almost hard to kind of break into that because there's just less people who are willing to like put in the effort there
Mhm.
and admit like, okay, maybe I'm not at like a rock bottom, but there's still things that I could do to just make my life more meaningful and understand myself a little bit more.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go to therapy because my life's like falling apart. I mean, I am actually not going to therapy right now. I've been wanting to look into that again. But just the little improvements, like just being able to be slightly, just even slightly more open with people or like be emotionally available. You know, I can function, I can go get a job, I can work, I can have friendships and relationships, but like, are they really fulfilling? I think
Mm,
that's the question. That's and I think therapy can help with that. Like, how can you actually learn to be emotionally available and intimate with people and connect with people? And that's something I've really struggled with, and I think most men do. It's hard to let our guards down. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, 100%. That
Mhm.
was actually something I brought up with my girlfriend this past week. Was like not with between us, but like me in general in life. I was like, that's something I'm trying to work on. Is
Yeah.
like, how do I cut through a little more, just
Yeah.
in like day to day interactions? How do I stop doing this like bullshit outside, like pretending I'm like a robot? Like, oh, look
Mhm.
at the cloud.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cold out. Like, let's fucking like be here and like actually interface like from within and be a real human. So yeah, I'm working on that too. It's hard. I don't know why it's so hard to just like be present with someone and just be willing to like open up a little bit.
Yeah.
But there are certain people who I notice draw it out of me for whatever reason, how they interact or how they show up with me or just like the attention they give me, the engagement like lets me do that. And so that's something I've been like, I don't know if I should say I put a like true intention on it, but I've wanted to be that kind of person who can like, bring
Yeah.
it out of someone else and let other people do
Yeah.
that. But I definitely haven't gotten there yet.
No, yeah, me neither, man. Yeah, I think I don't know, man, but I think I've definitely heard many wise people say that it's just a lifelong journey.
Mm,
It's probably never going to be something that we fully figure out.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
dude. I just went back to jujitsu yesterday for the first time in like
Hell yeah, man.
a while, over a year. Have you been training?
I have, yeah. Yeah.
Nice, dude. Hell yes. How's it been going?
I went today and it was, I don't want to say terrible because I wasn't, but just some days are great and other days just feel really discouraging. And that's how today felt.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And like there's certain days of the week, like Thursday's one of them at my gym. They have beginner classes and that's where I need to be. And I go to the other ones sometimes because they're convenient times. And it's just, oh man, like it's very hard for me to follow. I'm getting humbled the whole time. And that's how today
Uh-huh.
was. But yeah, it's been great. It's been good. I've been enjoying it, man. Yeah. And yeah, so what does that look like for you getting back into it?
Yeah, so the last time I was training regularly was like January of last year. So 2025. And I did a tournament at the end of January. And I like trained really hard for the tournament. I was going like every day leading up to it. And I ended up getting a little injured in the tournament. I like kind of messed up my ankle a little bit. And so I had to take it some time off. I took like a month. It still wasn't quite back to normal. And so then I kind of just figured like, hey, I've been doing this pretty regularly for like 3 or 4 years. Maybe I'll just take a break for a little bit. And then I signed up for the ultramarathon and that was in December. And so, starting in like July, I had to start training. And so that basically like cut out the potential for jujitsu. And then this year, I just moved a few weeks ago. And so then that was kind of a good like, okay, I moved. I saw there's a gym like 2 blocks away. Good, like that's a good sign. I can easily get back into it. I got fucked up pretty good yesterday. I had some good rolls, but then I like, one of the instructors came. He was like the instructor for the gi class and he came to the no gi. And so he was like laughing around and then just like destroyed me. And then, yeah, it was fun though. It was a good time. It was good to get back into it. Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of motivation right now, which I know with jujitsu, it kind of like, it comes and goes for me. There's like periods where I'm like really excited and it seems to be going well and I like want to learn more. And then there's other periods where I'm just like phoning it in. Like I'll go to class, I'll do the thing, but I'm like tired and I just don't want to and I don't care that
Mm,
much.
mm.
So I'm going to see if I can kind of like maintain the spark and like preserve it for as long as I can. Yeah. But that's where I'm at with it.
Nice. I forgot that. When did you run the ultra?
December.
Okay, you ran it in December. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. How long is that? Is it like 100
It was
miles or something
100,
like that?
100 miles. This one was.
How did that go? I'm curious.
I mean, it was like a whole like event. Like I can't even describe it in any one way. I know like leading up to it, I was dreading it the same way I dread like a long run. just a normal long run where it's like, oh, I have to run 15 miles tomorrow. Like I would dread that. But then 100 miles was like, oh, fuck, like this is going to suck. And then when Carson, my girlfriend, was driving me there the morning of, we got an Airbnb nearby. She's driving me into the park. And I'm like, this is going to suck. And then she was just like, hey, this, like, you trained a long time for this. Like, this is going to be fun. This is a really cool experience. Try and like enjoy it. So I'm like, okay, I'll try. It's a 16-mile loop that you do 6 times. So the first couple loops went really well. Like I was on my pace that I wanted. No problems at all. I mean, like minor problems, nothing that like threw things off. The first big problem was my drink mix. I use like a carbohydrate electrolyte mix. And I was trying to like drink a certain amount to stay on top of like calories, because the problem with ultra running is for most people, you can't actually absorb the amount of calories that you're going to be burning every hour. Like it's not possible for most people. And so you have to really get ahead of it by like staying on even when you're early on, you feel fine. You don't like, you're not depleted. You don't need the sugar. You still should be like drinking it that entire time. So I was trying to do that. And then that really came back to haunt me because my stomach started to like, I was like, you know, chugging this like sugary, salty mix. And so my stomach started to get all messed up. And so then I would walk more than I had been before. And that lasted for maybe like 10 miles or so. And then I was kind of okay, still on my pace. Where I really fell off was like after mile 60 was when I started having really bad shin splints. And so with those shin splints, I would try and run as much as I could, but I probably ended up walking like 3 or 4 miles leading up to mile 66, which would have been 2/3 of the way, 2 laps to go. And my friend Jacob had come to pace me for one of the laps. And then our shared friend Peter Lynn, paced me for the final lap. When I got back from at mile 66, I see Jacob and I tell him, dude, I don't think I'm going to run. I don't think I'm going to be able to run anymore. Like, I think I'm going to have to walk the rest of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And so we start walking. And then maybe half a mile into that loop, he's just like, you know, what if we just tried running a little bit? So I like tried limping a little bit. I also tried running backwards for a bit, which worked, but it wasn't like feasible to continue. So I tried running a little bit. It fucking hurt so bad. It was like each one was like just like pain through my shins, like through the bones, like really bad. But then I end up just like kind of making myself run. And it gets to a point where like running and walking both kind of hurt equally. And so the best option for me was to run, because that would at least make the pain like last a shorter amount of time.
Right.
I also remember like I would see someone sitting in a chair, like at one of the rest areas or at the start finish line when I was like in between laps. I would see someone in a chair and I just like envied them so much. Just the idea of like being able to sit was like heaven to me. But I also knew like, okay, if I sit, that's going to make it longer until the time when I'm actually done, when I actually get to rest. And so that was like this like tension where I'm like, I just want to, like, sitting down sounds amazing to me right now. But if I sit, it's going to be a longer time before I'm done. So yeah, it was hellish, and it was also really cool. Even at the end, like I remember being at like mile 95 with Peter. We're at the last food stop where there's like, they're like cooking like ramen and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff. And I had 5 miles left, and I like, even then was like, I want to quit now. Like, I want to be done now, even though it was mile 90, even though I was like so close to being done, and that kept going. It was like 97. I'm like, I just want to quit. Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was very hard, and yeah, it taught me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I admire you for that. I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot, man. Even just on that day when we ran the half, that was very challenging for me. So I don't know if I could if I'd have it in me or something like that. But that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if I'll do it again. I'm not sure. I kind of just wanted to check that one off. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't have any plans to. I think the bigger thing for me is just the training leading up to it.
That's what makes it
That's
not worth it anymore, or
yeah,
just so
just
much.
thinking about. I mean, it would be worth it, but it's a really big commitment.
Right. Right.
It's probably if you're being smart, it's going to be at least 6 months of training.
Yeah.
And yeah, it takes over. It's like 15 to 20 hours a week. So it really takes over.
It's such like a solo endeavor too. Like, I mean, I'm sure
Hmm.
you could run with lots of people, but if you're doing an ultra, I don't know many people that are going to want to train that much running,
Yep.
like, so it's got to be a hard thing to be able to be able to socialize. And that's what I like about
Yeah,
jujitsu is it's fun getting to
I think I
join with
ran
people.
like 90, 98, 99% of it completely alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, jujitsu's that's another reason I'm wanting to get back into it. It's just like kind of that's why I brought it up was this idea of like being um a little bit more emotionally available in general and being able to be present with people. I feel like the more I can go into this kind of like isolation where I just am like I'm working, I go for a run or I go work out, I have like my routine, but I need to like build in social time. And for me to even work on these things of like trying to show up better with people, I need like time to do it.
Yeah.
It's not just going to naturally happen. So that was another reason I wanted to start training again is I feel like it's a really good place to make connections and work on those practice those kinds of things.
Yeah, man. I agree. And it's also like that's probably one of the things I've struggled with the most and that I'm trying to get better at actively is reaching out to people more and connecting with people more. And when I do connect with people more, trying to be vulnerable with them and yeah, because I know I hear you. Like that's something I struggle with is that I can just go, go, go. And it's hard to connect with people.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah. It needs to be, for me, it needs to be built in.
Hmm.
Like I was talking with a friend a few months back and she was saying how for her the default is like, oh, I'm doing something and I'm inviting someone. Like that's always how it is. Like if she's doing something, she's going to invite someone or she's like, oh, what do I want to do today? Let me think of someone to go hang out with.
Mm,
That's just not how my brain works.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, what do I have to do today? Okay, how am I going to make that fit in? But there's never like, oh, who could I see today? And
Hmm.
so for me, I need like routine that incorporates that. So like
Hmm.
if, like we met at the maybe we didn't, I think we met at the men's group, but we saw each other a lot at the Friday morning yoga
Hmm.
cold plunge thing.
Hmm.
Like that kind of stuff is like where I actually connect with people because it's built into my weekly routine. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do that. I already have that set out. It's
Hmm.
not something I have to like in the moment be like, oh yeah, I want to go connect with people at this thing.
Hmm.
So that's kind of been a hack for me. When I do connect with people, it's usually because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that though. I like trying to like if I schedule out my week or like all the things I'm going to do, if I can think of people I could invite to go and do it with me. Like you said that you had a friend that was doing that. I like that. I think I could try to do that more. I like that idea. Yeah.
How else are how's guitar going?
Not at all.
No?
I mean, no, not really. I will pick it up. I picked it up like 3 times in the past week and a half just to kind of strum it and play it. I haven't
Okay.
played it at all over the past few months, and I was actually thinking about, like, maybe picking it up more again, but
Hmm.
no, I haven't been playing it at all, unfortunately. Just kinda
I've been uh I've been just grinding this one piece on the piano. It's like it's outside of my range. It's like too hard for me, but I'm just like being stubborn. I'm like I'm gonna do it. And it's been like probably 8 or 9 months that I've been working on it.
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like halfway there. I'm not even like done yet. Yeah, there's something really satisfying about just like slowly making progress.
Mhm.
Every, I don't know. I don't make progress quickly. I can't even overstate that. It's like every like week I maybe add on a measure that I'm now more
Mhm.
comfortable with.
Mhm.
But it over time that it's like I'm adding on to what I can do. And so now I have this like bulk of like measures that I can play that I could not play before. And yeah, there's something really cool about that.
Yeah, I had a song. I've learned like 3 songs on the guitar.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I can play 2, and there's one that I have, like, kinda have down, but it's really difficult. They both took me months to learn, and the other like, the second one I
Yeah.
learned took me, man, probably 6 months, and, like, these pretty consistent, but it was like a finger picking song, and it took me a long time. But I would really like to be able to just play it and enjoy it and just strum
Mhm.
and learn to just be able to pick it up and play it. I think maybe I would enjoy that more because just setting aside 20 minutes, and I probably need to set aside more time than that, but even just 20 minutes a day to practice a song, I just get numbing. I just get so like it just feels numbing to me sometimes. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to do this. Um,
Yeah, I've never got to the point where I can like I don't know how people just like sit at the piano and just like, "Oh, what are we playing?" and then just
yeah.
like, "Oh, just play it." Like I never.
Yeah, I think piano might be more challenging too, though, because with like guitar, you can just kind of strum and then change
Mhm.
chords, strum, change chord. Like literally, there's like a few chord progressions that you can just, if you know
Right,
those,
right.
then you can start singing songs to it. Like I don't know about piano, but yeah,
I mean, there's some people who can do it on piano. I don't. I think it's like almost a different skill. It's like a
hmm
separate kind of branch that you can take from. But I was actually just listening to or watching my grandpa in when I was in high school, he had Alzheimer's for a long time, maybe like since I was little, it was always like, oh yeah, grandpa like forgets stuff a lot. And then he got to a point where he couldn't remember names. He
hmm
couldn't like he didn't really know what was going on, but he was still like in the moment there, but he just didn't outside of that, he didn't know what was going on. And I had this piano teacher in high school. And so one time my mom was like, let's try something. Let's bring grandpa for a piano lesson and he can just like, hang out and play the keys with her. And she just like played songs and they would sing. And it was like amazing. It was like the best. He was like so happy just sitting there singing along with her. But she had that, my piano teacher. But that was my point. She had this skill
mm,
where she could just kind of like
right,
play any song and just
yeah,
kind of know how to do it.
oh, man,
Um,
yeah,
and
having the ability to
it's a
just
really
hear a
cool
song
skill.
and then play it back, oof,
Yeah,
I mean, that's the dream.
yeah. I don't
Just
know
hear a melody.
where that comes from. Like me, that doesn't even make sense how you can do that.
So much time and effort and,
Yeah, yeah.
skill, but
So
it's the dream.
for the month of May, I'm starting a new thing where I set like a monthly goal and invite other people to do it as well. And mine for this upcoming month is hydration. So I've been getting bad about
Nice.
my water intake, and so I finally was like, okay, 1 gallon of water every day. I'm just like sticking to that. Yeah. So how's your hydration been?
I have a glass of water right here. It is I think it's pretty good. I think that there's some days where I was actually today when I went to jujitsu, I was feeling really lightheaded. I think maybe I didn't drink enough water this morning. I think
Mm,
generally it's okay. I wouldn't say it's ever been something I've like noted that was like really needs to be improved. I'm always trying to
mhm.
drink enough water. Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
decent.
I'm kind of curious if there are any like weird side effects that I just didn't really like attribute to that, but that maybe are related. Because there are periods where I'm like on top of it and I just drink water naturally a lot. But then there are some like recently I've just have been noticing that I'm not like it'll be like 2 p.m. and I'm working on the same even today. Like I'm just finishing this. This is it. And I gotta drink 3 of these every day. But yeah, there are some days where I'm like, even it'll be like 6 p.m. and I'm like, I had like a glass of water today. That's it.
Mm.
And so I'm wondering if there could be some kind of, like you said, lightheadedness or
Mhm.
like afternoon crash or anything
Mhm.
like that that maybe is related. And I'll hopefully uncover that with
Yeah.
this month.
You mean, like, you'll see that, like, lessen? You'll have
Yeah,
less. Yeah.
potentially. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I've struggled with is, like, migraines. Like, I've gotten
Mm.
migraines for the past, like, 6 or 7 years occasionally, and, I
Hmm.
mean, I think it's mostly due to stress, but sometimes it's if I don't drink enough water. If I don't drink enough water, I'm stressed out, maybe I don't eat enough or I eat a lot of sugar. I don't really know exactly what it but I think water is one of the things, and I'll get, like, really bad headaches. Yeah.
That's one thing I think I've just been blessed to never, I've never really had like, I mean, I've had a headache before, but never like something that lasts a long time. It always is just like, oh, I have a headache. And then like 10 minutes later, it's fine. So yeah, tell me about that. Tell me what even happens when you get a migraine.
It's a whole thing, and it's been happening, like it's I think it's mostly associated with stress, like, it's happened at work sometimes. On when
Hmm.
I was telling you that my work schedule changed, I used to work really long weekends, and yeah, sometimes into, like, a really long shift. Maybe I didn't eat enough, I didn't bring enough food for the day, I'm not drinking enough water, I'm running around like crazy. Then my head it starts with my vision. I get a little lightheaded, like, I know the feeling now. I'll feel, like, a little bit dissociative, and,
Hmm.
like and then all of a sudden, I'll see, like, a spot in my vision that gets kinda blurry, and it'll start growing, and I get a headache, and I'm, like, lightheaded, and my vision gets blurry, and it lasts for, like, 45 minutes, and I have to go, like, tap out for an hour and just sit down, and
Dang.
yeah, it's no bueno. I've been
How does that work with like when you're at work?
It actually happened at work not long ago. I just kind of, like, hung out in the break room and just sat down for a while and just tried to get rest. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It does seem like, because I can't even really imagine. I don't like just getting a headache that doesn't go away and being
Mm.
like
Oh,
in
yeah.
the middle of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It knocks me
That's
out. It's not good. Yeah.
that I realize I have this thing where I just get like really annoyed when things like knock off my schedule or my routine
Yes.
where I'm like, this is funny. I made a mistake a few years ago. I was driving to Momentum Monday, the co-working group here in Austin, and I came off I-35 and I go to turn, but it's like I have to like get over into the lane and then turn quick. And when I do that, I have to slow down pretty quick and I get hit from behind. And it's pretty like jarring because I didn't get hurt or anything, but it was a nice, like a nice bump. And so we get out, we like, he says sorry, we talk. And literally all I'm thinking is like, dude, I just want to go to Momentum Monday. Like I was already planning ahead what I'm going to do. So we
Yeah.
don't call the police. We don't do any of that. I'm just literally like, okay, I just got hit and I'm just like trying to get back to my routine, get back on the schedule. And yeah, that really backfired because I ended up not getting any insurance, nothing, because we didn't call the police. And so there was no like
Mm.
report about whose fault was whose. But yeah, it's funny because when I hear about this migraine stuff, I'm like, man, I would be so frustrated if I had like a plan for the day and then it's just like throw it out. No, nope, you're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. That's actually exactly what happened. Like a few months ago, I went to the gym in the morning. It was my off day, and I was going to go to Barton that day. I never get to go
Mm.
to Barton Springs, so I was going to go to the gym and go to Barton Springs right after and enjoy it early in the morning. I went to the gym. I was leaving. Boom, migraine as I'm getting into my car, and I think I had had a stressful week, and that's like to me. Whenever I get one of those, it's like my body is just telling me like you gotta slow down because 'cause you're just
Right.
trying to
Shut it
do too
down.
much. Yeah,
Hmm.
and, like yeah, generally, that's what that means, that I'm not looking at something, I'm stressed out, and, yeah, I had to go home and lay down, and I didn't get to go to Barton, so, yeah. Yeah, man, I can relate to that. I don't enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been, like, utilizing, like, electrolyte mixes a lot more, like, I've been
Hmm.
buying those and, like, just bringing them with me in places that I go. My sister actually
Yeah.
recommended that because she gets migraines too. Whenever I'm feeling stressed out or tired, or generally when I drink those, it helps. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the thing I hear too. But I also feel like I'm hearing it from someone who is like a podcaster who's like sponsored by it. So I
Oh,
never know.
mm,
But I feel like I've noticed that as well with having electrolytes and just generally feeling a little bit like clear minded, a little bit less fog. It definitely seems to do something. I haven't been good about it lately. My problem with the electrolyte mixes is like my inner cheapskate comes out because I'm like, all this stuff is so cheap, but yet I'm paying like, $2 per packet. And I'm like, but I could make it for 10 cents for the same thing.
mm, ooh,
But then I never actually do it. So
yeah.
that's my problem.
Well, I've never thought about that. That's actually, yeah. Maybe I need to consider that.
Yeah, I mean, I've made the mix in the past, and it's again, it works great. It's like the exact same thing. You just buy the separate, like you buy salt, you buy magnesium, you buy potassium, and then you buy some kind of flavoring and maybe some kind of like artificial sweetener. It's super easy to do, but then the problem is like you don't get the nice packets that you can like bring
Right.
around that are super easy to always have. And so that's the real problem is I just don't end up using it as much or having it as much. So that's the thing is like, yeah, you can do it the cheap way and like make a bunch of it, but if you don't use it, then what's the point? So maybe it's worth paying for the real ones if you're going to actually use them.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe think about that.
Yeah. How's the gym been?
Well, that's been, I would say, oh man, the first word that came to mind was weak. Like I'm trying, I'm trying to get back in there and be more consistent.
Mhm.
Ever since I started going to jujitsu a few times a week, it's been like it's kind of replaced like a few of my gym sessions. So usually when I would go into the gym during the week, now I'm doing jujitsu, and I'm like, and it's tiring, it takes a lot out of me to go and roll. So it's hard to make time during those days to go to the gym. So it's actually that's a work in progress right now. Like I'm just trying. Someone recommended to me, because I kind of went over this with them. They were like, maybe just try to get to go to the gym twice a week on top of your training, and just do full body, just
Mhm.
aim for that. And that's what I'm aiming for right now, 'cause it's been hard for me to get there and get a good session in, especially if I'm gonna split it into, like, chest, back, legs. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's hard for me to get there and be consistent, every week, to where I'm actually getting good balanced workouts in. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in maintenance mode also. I just do 3 times a week and I just work out at my apartment gym. There's nothing really special about it. I'm just kind of like, okay, if I work out 3 times a week for like 30 minutes or longer, I know I won't, like, I'll be healthy. That's kind of the way I've been thinking recently is like, how can I just maintain my health as best as possible? Yeah. And that seems to be like, you don't need to be a power lifter to be very healthy, you know?
Totally.
So that's kind of
Yeah.
how I've been seeing it.
I know one time we had spoken, and you would say that you try to work out, like, every day. You try to get some sort of workout in. Is
Mhm.
that not the case anymore? Do you kinda just split up your workouts throughout the week? Or yeah, how do
Yeah,
you
dude. I've had a lot of, I used to go really hard in the gym. I would do like towards the end of college, I had a friend who would go and he did like push pull legs. And that was my first time doing that. And I would do it like twice a week. So six workouts a week. Each one would be like anywhere from 90 minutes to like 2.5 hours. And they were just, yeah, they were long. It just took a lot of time. And I did that for like 2 years. And then I think from there, at some point I switched over to like I would work out every day, but it was like a 45-minute workout. And I was like, cut at that. And that was a good routine, but it was every day. And so then it was like, that's like a very strict, structured routine that's hard. Like there's no leeway. It's like once I stopped one day because I was on vacation, then it was just done. Like I just stopped doing that and didn't go. Like I completely the whole routine just went out the window. So yeah, now it's more of like I think I do some kind of exercise every day. There's rarely a day where I do nothing. It's usually either a run or a workout. And then the other thing I've been doing recently is weighted vest walks. I try and add those in, just like kind of sprinkle them in on top. And those really are like, I've been telling people about this and they're like, does that do anything? Like, what's the point of that? It doesn't sound like much because it's only 15 pounds. But dude, if you do like a 4 mile walk with a 15-pound vest, the next day I'm like sore. I'm like, my knees feel it, my hips feel it. It's like genuinely a significant enough amount of work that your body will feel it. So I've been playing with that as well.
I might have to try that. Yeah. I would imagine too, just it would I don't know how else to say this. It would just make walking feel easier. Like maybe
Yeah,
like you train it's like you're training just like yeah,
to walk
like
better.
walking with weight, you know? I mean, it would just make
Yeah,
getting around overall feel easier when you're just doing it.
right, right. And I think it's good for like bone strength and bone density and stuff, just because you're putting just like a little bit more load on every step. And yeah, I feel like it's just like pretty good for you in general to just like get used to carrying a little bit more weight some of the time. So that's been a fun one.
Heck yeah.
How about your sleep? How's your sleep been? I know you said you changed schedules, so that probably helped it
Yeah.
immensely.
Yeah. It's tough. Right now, for work, that on the days that I do work, I have to get up at like 5 and that for me feels too early. It's like 5 days a week, and then I have 2 days off so I can get up, I can sleep in, but that feels too early for me. I'm really looking forward to a time in the future when I have a job that allows me to sleep until like 6, 6:30. I just think like that alone would just improve my sleep so much. You know, because people talk about how like you have like everyone has a kind of a natural rhythm, like of when their body wants to fall asleep, when their body wants to wake up. And I think for me, I can't usually sleep in past 8. Like, I can try or 8, 8:30, but I'm really not going to. But my body seems to naturally, like, wake up around, like, 6 or 7, maybe 7:30. So, yeah, so right now, it's hard for me to get I try to go to sleep by, like, 9, 9:30 every day, especially if I'm working the next day, and that's just really hard for me because my body just I just don't it's not natural. So
It's not ready. Yeah.
yeah. So on average, I think I'm getting a little less sleep than I would like to consistently. So and I get decent sleep, but it's just not great, you know. But it's okay. I'm also trying to find new ways to like wind down because I don't know if you can relate, but like certain days I get going, my mind gets going, my body gets going, you know, and it's time to go to bed like and there's just so much going on in here. And
Mhm.
I'll like try journaling. I'll journal, journal, journal. I'm just like, I can't slow it down. So I don't know. ChatGPT recommended that I have a nightly routine of something I do every night
Uh-huh.
to slow down. And that's been hard for me to develop, like to find something that I do that helps me wind down. But I'd like to do that.
Yeah, that's for sure for me as well. There are some days where I mean, lately I've been having more caffeine during the day, and that makes it hard to get to sleep. I've noticed that the past couple days. But in general, when caffeine isn't a factor, yeah, the routine is hard. Because especially if there's something I'm like interested about looking at or looking into or like something and it involves the computer or the phone,
Mm,
like that just like sucks me in. And then I'm like, oh, it's only 11. Like I'll look at this a little bit longer. And then yeah, it can just suck me. It can pull me into just like, it can completely throw me off basically.
mhm.
The natural sleep cycle thing though, that's been really interesting for me to see without like now that I don't have a job, I don't have to wake up for anything. So I don't use an alarm at all. And yeah, it seems to be between like 8 and 9 for me. And it moves around like over, some like over the span of like a month, it'll shift forward a little bit and then it'll shift back a little bit. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting to just see like, okay, what happens if I'm not? Because dude, I've been let me tell you, I've been fucking regimented on it for like basically since high school. Because with high school, I didn't have a choice. I had to get up at like 6 a.m. And then college, I have class. My first job, I would wake up at like 6 every day. I've never just not had an alarm. And so it's a weird thing to be like, when I wake up, I don't like hate life. I don't like want to go like right back to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very, it's weird. Yeah. It's a different way of waking up. And it's not like I just feel like amazing every day when I wake up, but there's at least not like a fight every time. That's
Yeah.
like, man, I want to go back to sleep so bad. So yeah.
Has that been hard for you to create discipline around having some sort of sleep schedule? Because I can imagine for me, like one thing I like about having a place that I have to be every day is that it
Mhm.
keeps me like the structure is something that I really do well with. And I think in times where I haven't had a job and I've had to create that for myself, it has been challenging for me to do. Has that been something that you
Mhm.
struggled with at all, or has that been something that feels pretty natural?
In some ways, I struggle with it. There are kind of periods. There are periods where like my work fits into the morning, and like I found that I work the best. Like my best work is going to get done in the morning. And so when I'm thinking that way, or I'm in like a good work stretch, like it's like I'm my best work's going to get done in the morning. It's kind of fun when I'm in a good work stretch too, and so I'm kind of excited to get to work. And so then there is like a natural push towards getting to work on like, by 9 or by 8:30 or whatever it is. The other thing is with my morning meditation, I usually am trying to get it in by like get started on it by noon. That's kind of my rule for the morning. Sometimes I go over, but I'll either do it like when I wake up or I'll do it after I do some work, but before noon. And so that kind of cuts me because it's like, oh, I want to get 2 hours of work in or 3 hours of work in before I have to do my meditation. And so then I'm like a little bit more like on top of like, okay, get up, shower, go outside, get coffee if I'm having coffee, get to work. So for me, I'm pretty naturally structured with that kind of stuff. There are definitely times, more recently, I've been more off in terms of like what time I'm getting up. And it's more just like, yeah, but that's because I'm less structured in work at the moment. Things are a little bit more up in the air. Yeah, but it's a challenge. It's for sure. I think being used to having an external reason to wake up versus
Mhm.
having to come up with my own reason, that changes things.
Yeah, man. I would have to be something I would have to work on very heavily if I had the openness and the availability for it. 'Cause
Yeah. Yeah. And really, it's about going to sleep at the right time versus waking
Mhm.
up at the right time. Because
Mm.
that's kind of my thing is like, I'll sleep in if I need it, but like I shouldn't need it. I should be going to sleep at the right time. So I'm just waking up when it's time to wake up.
Yeah. I mean,
So yeah.
when you said that, I was kinda laughing because 'cause I've heard someone say the exact opposite thing. They were like, "It's all about the time you wake up, because if you don't wake up at the right time, then you're not gonna wanna go to sleep." Like, and it's like almost a chicken and egg thing. It's like, which
Yeah.
fucking one?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't
so
know.
if yeah, sleeping definitely. Like getting to sleep, you won't be able to sleep at like 10 if you wake up at 10 a.m., right? Like it's not gonna happen. Your body's gonna be too far
Right.
off. So you can't make those like huge leaps. But for me, I don't really care about making those kind of huge leaps because I don't have anything to wake up for. So if I wanted to like shift my schedule, then I can do that. But really, for me, it's more about having a consistent schedule than any specific time frame, if that makes sense. So I don't care if I wake up at 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. as long as I'm getting the right amount of sleep and I'm doing that every single day, the same time.
Just as long as you're staying within that time frame, like, kinda
So,
sleep
so
keeping the
my,
schedule similar. Yeah.
right. So like every day I want to be going to bed at the same time.
Mhm.
That's really the most important thing to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if that like, shifts a little bit over the span of a month, that's okay. That doesn't really matter. Like if it's like
Mhm.
10
Yeah, right.
this month, and then slowly over May it shifts forward a little bit to 11 or shifts back to 11. It doesn't. That's okay.
Yeah.
But yes, if you do want to shift the time, it's probably going to require you to wake up early one day just to
Yeah.
like get, eat the frog,
Yep, yep.
completely throw it off.
Yeah, man.
Have you found things to help you sleep, like be more ready for sleep at night?
Uh, yeah, yeah, because I was saying I haven't found the thing, and I mean, I've found
Hmm.
things that help. I think it's just always kinda challenging. I think yeah, I think journaling has helped me for sure. Like, that's something
Hmm.
like, if I'm really stressed out about anything, sometimes I know that if I don't write it out, then I'm gonna be sitting there in bed just thinking about stuff.
Mm,
Something like that's really helped is like if I know I have like a really busy day tomorrow or the next day, maybe there's a lot of things that I haven't planned out right, or if there's like deadlines and things like that, like just writing them all out so that I know everything that I have to do, like
hmm.
will just bring about a lot of peace. So that's something. Writing to-do lists, sometimes stretching. Also, like, have you ever done like the what are they called? Like the meditations where you meditate pretty much and then you like
NSDR?
is that I don't know, but you pretty much focus on different, like, muscles in your body and relaxing them, and you go
Yes,
throughout your
yes.
body.
Non-sleep deep rest. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, cool, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that
I've done
that's
that
what it was
before.
called.
I tried that. It was like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was like, it was in the middle of the workday, and I was like really tired, and so I was like, okay, I'll try this NSDR thing, and I did like a 30-minute one, and then I woke up like 2 hours later. It just I just fell asleep because I was trying to
Oh,
rest. I had
really?
heard
Oh, so
like
it put you to sleep, and
it
then
put me to
okay.
sleep completely. I had heard like, okay, you do this thing, and it's like sleeping, but you don't actually fall asleep. It's just like you're really resting. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then yeah, I just completely fell asleep.
Nice.
Which I guess would be the goal in your case, would be
Yeah,
to actually fall asleep.
yeah. I think it helps. I think that sometimes, like, I seem to be at the end of my day, depending on what I'm doing sometimes, I just carry like, I'll notice my forehead is just scrunched. You know what I mean? Like, it's like my muscles are just so tense.
Yep, yep.
And usually, I don't know if I understand this right, but it seems like there's, like, thoughts tied to that tension too, you know? Like, I don't know what that is, but it seems like the more tension I feel in my face, the more my muscles are tense, the more my mind is just going. And like,
Mm.
if I really slow down, if I really like ease the tension, usually the thoughts kind of die down too, you know? Yeah. Sometimes that helps. I think that I'm usually carrying that tension. It's like right in my forehead and in my face. Yeah. Like after long days of work, sometimes I'll look in my rearview mirror when I'm driving home and my forehead will just be like scrunched and I can't unscrunch it. I'm like, dude, I can't relax my forehead. That's insane. It's so not good.
That's funny.
I'm
It's
stressed
just
out.
tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely, I mean, maybe I don't notice it as much, but when I think back, I do think I'm a pretty tense, physically tense person. So cool, man. Well, let's wrap this up. Anything else you want to bring up from the past 2 years?
Sheesh. I don't think so, man. Not that I can think of right now.
All right. Let's
Yeah.
wrap it up then. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah, man.
Round two.
Yeah, brother.
Hopefully the next round doesn't take two years. We'll do
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, man. Thanks for having me. It's fun.
Awesome. Of course, bro.
Yes, brother.
All right. Thank you again, Dalton, and goodbye, everybody.